Good evening, good evening. Thank you, Neshaminy Concert Band and Mr. Mike Lipton for our processional. And thank you, first responders, for being here for NHS in both times of need and celebration. Now, to begin tonight's celebration, the senior members of the Neshaminy Choir, directed by Mrs. Krista Nichols, will perform the national anthem and the alma mater. Please stand. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Flat. Please be seated. Good evening again. As principal, it is with great pride I welcome you to Harry E. Frank Stadium in Neshaminy High School's 126th commencement, the class of 2021. To offer this evening's student greeting, it is my pleasure to introduce two student leaders, Miss Maggie Wiley, Vice President, and Mr. Kieran Meehan, Secretary for the class of 2021.
Good evening. It is our pleasure to welcome all of you to this year's graduation ceremony. This bittersweet moment is one that most of us have been waiting for since we walked through the doors of our elementary schools.
Throughout our early years at Neshaminy, many of us questioned the meaning of the 21 that stood by our names, the big 21 on our shirts, the 21 that followed us throughout our years. 21 is not only a number, but also a symbol that helps to represent us as a class and our impact that we left and will continue to leave on the world.
It helps to represent a class that has adapted to new ways of living their daily lives. Collectively, we have run Neshaminy's first ever parade and outdoor prom. We were even able to navigate through the rough waters of Zoom classes, virtual events, and other traditions that helped to make Neshaminy such a memorable place in our hearts.
We did not allow anything to stand in our way. We were able to persevere and overcome any challenges that we faced over these past 4 years. Red and blue, we came together and faced them as one Neshaminy community.
Today we are here to celebrate the various accomplishments of this amazing class. In doing so, we must acknowledge the people who helped us get here, our parents, family members, teachers, and friends.
As we sit here, let's take a moment and think about what this graduation means. Whether it means more years of school, the start of a new job, joining the military, or anything else that you may choose to pursue, it is a new beginning. The Neshaminy High School, where you have spent many years learning and growing as both students and as individuals, will soon be part of your past. It is a building block on your path forward.
All of our support systems have helped us to create a foundation for our future, but it is now our time to make the next step and keep building. The path you build may lead you in a multitude of different directions. It is the roadblocks you face on the way and how you overcome them that will help to define your character.
Be different. Be the one that goes off the path. Be the one that makes their own. Do this because, as Steve Jobs once said, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Be the one who thinks outside the box. Be the one who goes beyond the norms. Tonight, we challenge you to be that person. Be the one who creates their own path. The one who does not allow any roadblocks to stand in your way. We challenge you to persevere and overcome anything that you may face.
Thank you. And again, welcome to the commencement of the Neshaminy High School class of 2021.
Thank you, Maggie and Kieran. Student leadership is an essential element of a great high school. In addition to Maggie and Kieran, we will meet a number of other student leaders this evening. The next two leaders, Miss Emily Collier, Treasurer, and Miss Marie Nolan, Historian for the class of 2021, they will deliver the student welcome.
Welcome everyone to the class of the 2021 graduation ceremony. I am Emily Collier.
And I am Marie Nolan.
I am very happy, yet very sad to see that this day has finally arrived. As we sit in Heartbreak Ridge, where we spend our Friday nights on our campus that we have grown to love, we reminisce on our time here and the memories we were able to make before it was cut short. Before this moment becomes the past, enjoy it right now as we come together for the last time.
On behalf of the class of 2021, I would like to thank the family members, the Neshaminy High School staff, and the friends here today whose constant support has helped us get to where we are today and has shaped us into the young adults we are. To our families, without you being willing to drag us out of bed on tougher mornings or being opening to offering us of words of advice when we needed it most, we may not have been able to reach this day. To all of our classmates, we will forever cherish the memories we were able to create, from the friends that will last a lifetime to the homecomings, the formals, the gym nights, and so much more. Although we will never be Neshaminy High School students again, we will forever be Neshaminy Redskins. From this day forward, we will be moving into adulthood, moving on to new experiences and new challenges, all with leaving behind a class that has made the absolute best out of the worst situation, a year that will never be forgotten.
Dr. Randy Pausch once said, "We cannot change the cards we are dealt, just how we play the hand." Our class has faced many personal and communal losses. The loss of our fellow classmate, Patrick Gannon, in 2016 made us realize that we are not invincible, that life cannot be taken for granted.
In 2019, we faced another tragic loss of our classmate, Philip Ozerezik. Phil's smile was contagious, even on someone's worst day. Phil's humor brought light to the dark, and his passing made us realize that we have to make the most of our time here and to never dwell on the little things in life, but to live in the moment.
Looking back on a year that brought many adversities and hardships, a year when no one knew what would happen next, you persevered. Although we missed out on special moments and rites of passage, we were brought together in other ways, proving how notable this class truly is. The struggles we endured the past few years only made us stronger.
Neshaminy class of 2021, it is an honor to be graduating with you here today. I hope everyone finds the good in this year and appreciates the time that we have been through. This graduation ceremony not only represents where we are now, but the grip we have on our futures. Thank you for attending and welcome everyone to the class of 2021's graduation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emily and Marie. It is my pleasure to welcome to the podium Dr. Robert McGee, Superintendent of the Neshaminy School District and a Neshaminy graduate.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Stopp. Seniors, tonight you are in your final assembly as a class at Neshaminy High School, and this will be the last time we will be able to call you seniors. Though it may be a few minutes premature, it gives me great pleasure to be one of the first to welcome you to a class of family in Neshaminy as far as being alumni. In a moment, Ms. Boyle will confirm your diplomas, and you'll be among a group of people dating back many, many years who can proudly say, I am a Neshaminy graduate. Congratulations on your accomplishment as it marks the culmination of a 12-year pursuit. Take a short break. You have earned it, but not for too long. Though your graduation marks the end of your high school experience, it's just the beginning of a much longer journey, a much more important journey. Continue your journey, pursue your goals, pursue your dreams, pursue your passions, and along the way, use your talents to make the world a better place for yourself and others, just as you've done here at Neshaminy High School. Use your talents to make the world a better place for yourself and others. Normal graduation speech advice usually has something to do with go change the world. Instead, the class of 2021 might just have to put the world back together. So I'm going to tell you what I told the class of 2020 right here on this same field a year ago. As you may have noticed, we find ourselves in a nation in a state of unrest on many, many issues, whether it be health issues, social issues, environmental issues, ethnic issues, religious issues, racial issues, or political issues. You name the issue, we seem to be fighting about it. Uncertainty and loss are presently the norm. Though new to us, such hardship is not unique to our nation and the world's history. Collectively, your age group is called Generation Z, Gen Z. I'm a baby boomer. There is a group that came before both of our generations, the generation of my grandparents and your great-grandparents. That generation may very well have given us a path forward. That group has become known as the greatest generation, albeit much after the fact. This group of American women and men won the Second World War. If it wasn't enough, that's only part of what they did to be referred to as the greatest generation. It's what they did collectively after they won World War II that got them their name. They came home and transformed this nation into the industrial giant and the world leader it is today. After living through uncertain times and suffering losses far more than our memorable events and rites of passage. For the next 2 decades, they rebuilt the country and the world to make it what it is today. The greatest generation actually built a significant part of our town. Now, clearly, they didn't get it perfect. However, nowhere near perfect, but the greatest generation also did not leave it to chance. The greatest generation could have sat back and said they've done their part and suffered enough, but they did not. Instead, they led the way after their most difficult time. You, the class of 2021, find yourself in similar, uncertain, difficult times. The question is, what will you do after your most difficult days? I respectfully suggest that you are positioned perfectly to make the next significant change in American society and possibly the world. The only question is whether you will collectively, as a generation, step up and get it done. Don't dwell on the difficulties of these times, the problems, the loss. Enough with the "we've lost so much" talk. Instead, look at the potential, the opportunities, and look to lead. I can't give you advice on what to do. My generation didn't get it done, and we're almost ready to step aside. You will know what to do when the time comes, as it will clearly be the next right thing to do. Probably not some big, monumental, historic event. Nope, just a small incident where you do the next right thing. You get to decide what is right in that moment. You, no one else. The next right thing. Next, meaning even after a series of wrong decisions, make the next decision the right decision. And after that, there'll be another decision point to do the next right thing, and then another. If you string a bunch of them together and others do the same, then collectively, your generation will have a direction and a potential movement. We need you to do the next right thing. Your community needs you to do the next right thing. Our nation needs you, and your world needs you to do the next right thing, just as you've done here at Neshaminy High School. Class of 2021, we leave the next step to you. Again, congratulations and welcome to the club.
Thank you, Dr. McGee. The class of 2021 is well represented by individuals who have made significant achievements during high school in the areas of student leadership, service to school and community, co-curricular, and academics. It is my pleasure to introduce Alex Cruceru as the Salutatorian for the class of 2021.
Wow, a much larger audience than the 3 stuffed animals I'm used to, but that's all right. I get nervous in public speaking, so I do the whole imagine the audience in their underwear thing, which usually works, but all I'm getting out of it this time is that Bill over here has some pretty cool Spider-Man undies on. I'm a little jealous. Anyways, good evening, class of 2021. I am beyond thrilled to speak to everyone today in regards to the last 12 eventful years of our lives. We have all gone through our own hardships, whether it be forgetting shorts for gym class freshman year, tirelessly studying for those darn AP tests, or stressing over some English assignment so much that you make up the book you were supposed to read. Heck, we even had to endure the pain of online learning, which was quite exhausting for some of us. However, that is all done and dusted. We see the finish line, which is approximately about an hour away for any of those parents who are already bored. Speaking of parents, we thank you for putting up with us these past 18 years. We will consider coming home and visiting from time to time. Maybe. A very large thank you to our teachers as well. Where would we be if we never learned about 19th century poetry or that Angleside side is not a valid geometric proof? We thank the administration for all they have done for us, and anyone else I may have missed along the way, although siblings were intentionally excluded as they are purely an annoyance. That is not up for debate. Sorry, Emma. Lastly, I don't believe any one of us would be where we are today without the help of our dear friend, Google. From the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate everything you've all done for us. From the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate everything you've all done for us that has enabled us to be in these seats today to collect some fancy piece of paper that some consider our reward for 12 years of hard work. Yay. Along our 12-year trek, we not only grew in knowledge, but also in valuable skills. Whether you want to be a sportscaster, famous blogger, an astronaut, a TikTok sensation, or anything in between, the way you pave the next few years of your life will dictate that. However, if you think that you will land your dream job on the first try, think again. I in no way mean to sound cliche or appear all sappy, but without failure, what have you really learned? Repeating the same thing that you already know to be true is not pushing you to excel. The third president of our country, Thomas Jefferson, is credited with having said, if you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. I'm sure many of us are super excited to be going off to college in a few months and experience the entirely new environment. But we must remember that if we want to enjoy ourselves and find our identities, we must step out of our comfort zones and try new things. Some of us may have liked high school, some of us not so much, but whatever your future plans are, this is your chance to start fresh. Do everything that you want to do. Join any clubs you may like. Be a part of study groups with random people you have never met before. Experience all that college has to offer, because in a mere 4 years, you are out in the real world. And if you haven't developed the skills to succeed, you are out of time. That is, unless you plan on going to additional schooling, which to those I say good luck, and may Google be forever in your favor. Now, I mentioned college as if that is the end-all be-all, but it is not. To those of you joining the military, going to trade school, joining the workforce, or anything else, remember, some of the most brilliant minds and successful people either dropped out of college or never went. This includes Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, who is currently estimated to be worth a mere $118.9 billion. Regardless of what your plans after today are, the message still stands. Go out and experience everything there is until you can't anymore. Leaving your comfort zone introduces you to new opportunities that you would have never experienced otherwise. Do you think Apple would have started if Steve Jobs never met Steve Wozniak and created those portable addictions called iPhones? Speaking of which, everyone, smile on 3. All right, one more, quick. All right, cool. You'll see those on Instagram later, don't worry. Sorry, I got all distracted. If either one of them never took the initiative to do something they've never done before, you might be using a stinky Android now. The point is, if no one tried something new and attempted to do something they've never done before, we wouldn't be where we are today. It isn't even that hard. Most of us have actually gone through this. I doubt many, if anyone here, has done Zoom classes for months straight or undergone a pandemic prior to last year. Even though these have been tough experiences, they have also brought many of us closer to our families and given us countless hours to play Minecraft. Don't look at me like that, we were all doing it. But on a more realistic note, this time has also given us a glimpse into what some classes are going to be like in the future. After realizing that we are prepared for all that awaits us, every single person in the crowd tonight has the capability to achieve greatness. We are ready to make our mark. Now, as we all sit here today in our fanciest wizard outfits and square hats, I would like to give one last congratulations to the class of 2021. We have all, collectively, made these last 4 years ones we will remember. Our futures begin today. Go out and experience everything.
Thank you, Alex. Our next speaker has worked closely with the class of 2021 over the past 4 years at Neshaminy High School. I am pleased to introduce Ms. Lori Johnson, health and PE teacher and faculty advisor to the class of 2021.
All right. First of all, I feel like we should have worked on that beach ball thing in phys ed this year. It's not going so well. Okay. All right. As class advisor, this is typically the time where I reminisce about the past 4 years. This is where we try to relive all of the wonderful memories that you've made along the way. It is where we laugh at the long, crazy bus ride to the junior class trip, where we talk about how we danced the night away at our proms, and where we relive all of the Friday night football games here at Heartbreak Ridge. This is where we remember your days at Neshaminy High School. Well, class of 2021, it seems as if the world had other plans for you. While it's easy to look at the ways you were robbed of your traditional high school experience, take a moment and reflect on the positive things that have happened during your time. Celebrate what got you here, the classworks, the projects, these seemingly endless Zoom meetings, the rehearsals, the practices, the wins and losses. The pandemic did not erase your teenage achievements, nor did the pandemic destroy your spirits and talents. It simply diverted them to things like TikTok. As the great childhood author Dr. Seuss once said, when something bad happens, we have three choices. You can let it define you, you can let it destroy you, or you can let it strengthen you. The class of 2021 certainly rose to the occasion. The pandemic did not slow you down. There were virtual performances, championship teams, and even our very first outdoor prom. The class of 2021 could not have chosen a better group of class leaders than your class officers. Matt, Maggie, Kieran, Emily, and Marie. These 5 students are the true definition of student leadership, and their hard work has not gone unnoticed. So while this may not be the way we planned on ending your time here at Neshaminy High School, there is beauty unfolding in what remains. Even if it's hard, even if it seems unfair, even if it's so much different than what you ever imagined. You have come out of this with a new appreciation for life's daily routine, and unfortunately, its tragic fragility. You have gained an overwhelming sense of appreciation for the simple things that you once took for granted, like hanging in the locker banks, sitting at a lunch table, or even walking down the hallway in any direction you choose. Today marks the time for you to move forward. It is time to put aside everything that you have missed out on and focus instead on building your future. Your wings already exist. All you have to do is fly. Class of 2021, know that you are loved. We, your teachers, your families, and the entire Neshaminy community believe in you very much. We know that you will change the world from the way it changed you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. It is my pleasure to introduce the valedictorian for the class of 2021, Mr. Henry Casper.
Administration, staff, families, friends, and fellow graduates of the class of 2021. Words cannot express how honored and grateful I am to have been given the opportunity to speak on this special occasion. As I am sure you are all well aware, we have worked very hard to get to this point. We have all made memories, learned lessons, and formed relationships that will last a lifetime. These past few years have shaped us into who we are today. If there is anything I myself have learned during my time here in Neshaminy, it is that these young men and women I am lucky to call my fellow graduates are some of the most resilient, adaptable, and inspiring people one could hope to know. You can throw a global pandemic at us, and we still finish strong. Today, however, serves not one, but 2 primary functions. While it is, of course, very important to commemorate the past, it is even more important to look to the future, as the past is so rigid and the future is so malleable. As I stand here today, I would like to try to convey some parting ideas that some might consider to be helpful. First and foremost, I think it is critical that we do not dwell on the past. Every waking moment is a chance to reinvent oneself. I tend to overthink everything and have found that getting stuck focusing on mistakes in the past can inhibit future development. It is very beneficial to be able to recognize these thought patterns and break them. It has also become quite clear to me that hard work never hurts as badly as regret. If you truly want something, the struggle is always worth it. If you feel uncomfortable, chances are you are doing something right. Furthermore, one learns to make good decisions through making bad decisions. Knowing this can free one from the shackles of fear and indecision and promote a great deal of exploration. Exploration itself is key to living one's best life. Each and every person is predisposed to success in one or more specific areas, often unbeknownst to them, and exploration simply increases the probability that one stumbles across an ideal pathway. Finding this area of passion is so important because disinterest, procrastination, and neglect are not character traits, but the result of an incompatibility between an individual and a situation. Finding the correct medium allows one to grow exponentially. The lessons we have learned throughout our lives are extraordinarily valuable and make us who we are. The lessons that we have yet to learn, however, make life worth living. Our lives have only just begun, and we have already experienced so much. The world awaits. Thank you.
Thank you, Henry. It is now time for our ceremony's message and music. We are one. Performing tonight's message is the Neshaminy Senior Choir, directed by Mrs. Kristen Nichols. Thank you, Mrs. Nichols and our senior choir. And now I would like to welcome to the podium Mr. Stephen Piritano, President of the Neshaminy Board of School Directors. Mr. Piritano.
Hello, Neshaminy. welcome parents, extended family, and friends of the graduating Neshaminy High School class of 2021. It is my honor on behalf of the Neshaminy Board of School Directors to congratulate our seniors on the culmination of their high school careers and wish you great luck and happiness on the future yet to be traveled. We also want to recognize our police and first responders who have helped us celebrate this year's class, and a special acknowledgement to those seniors who have chosen a path to military careers, those who serve or those who we owe our freedom and liberties. We shall never forget the sacrifices you accept on behalf of all of us. It is of great privilege that we're able to join in celebration today, along with our Neshaminy staff, both past and present, that helped guide you all to this day. We also acknowledge the whole work across our nation and in the globe that helped us manage this pandemic and will eventually aid in its total defeat. This event, one that has altered our basic way of life, our economic security, and so many lives, will be over and left to history, but it will never define us. I hope we all can find some solace in realizing every American generation has had to face challenges and make sacrifices. Some were lesser, many were greater, but none were felt any less significant to the generation that was experiencing them at the time. From our founding as a nation to a movement west, a civil war fought, a civil war fought to secure the promise of one single nation under God where all are created equal. The pandemic of 1918, the Great Depression, 2 world wars, Korea, the Civil Rights Movement, Vietnam, 9/11, and countless more events that had altered the lives of generation after generation of Americans, one theme is still constant. Our Republic of the United States of America is and will always remain the beacon for liberty, justice, and freedom throughout the world. There will be moments in the futures when we all reflect on the challenges we experienced, and we may attempt to weigh them in significance against those of all other generations. Do not let that be the gauge in judging our own existence, for it is the struggles in life that make us stronger, that test our measure, and for which laid the foundations of American greatness. We are all born with an individual drive, a necessity to succeed, but none of us truly does it on their own. We all need guidance and assistance, and we need a community. We are lucky to be part of this Neshaminy community, one that continually supports our children and youth. It is our American society that fosters these possibilities and remains the only one the world has ever known, specifically designed for each one of you, if you want it, to fulfill your own hopes and dreams. Every generation that has come before you has contributed in some way to this ideal. Now it's time for you to play your part. Regardless of race or creed, our country has led the world in establishing the fundamental value of self-determination. Every generation has left their mark. Your generation will be the future leaders and decision makers. You will decide how to maintain all the opportunities that were secured. This time will come quicker for some, longer for others, but eventually all will be asked to play their part. We trust that Neshaminy has instilled the values that will allow you all to stand up. Each generation bears the responsibility of what American really is, not only to us as a country, but to the world. Whether it's through the military, innovation, arts, science, medicine, politics, public service, charity, business, or family life, each and every one of you are granted the opportunities to participate in the American experiment. This is what makes us so unique. We are the only society on this earth where the people define the government and not the other way around. It affords all of us with individual rights and liberties, a right to self-determination and self-rule found nowhere else, and why so many people around the world seek to reach our shores. Some generations ago, a newly elected President John F. Kennedy proposed to the American people on his inauguration, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." Those 17 defining words sparked a whole generation to public service. He was able to define so eloquently, it requires involvement to maintain the promise of America. And it's up to all of us, the people, to accept that responsibility. The previous generations protected not only our society, but the values of our Constitution. Now it is your turn. Now, being all about 18 years old, we don't mean to put the entire weight of the survival of the free world upon your shoulders. But what I'm asking is when the call comes, and it will, think of what you have been afforded and ask yourselves, should I be ensuring what I was granted for the next generations to come? I have no doubt, being part of Neshaminy, what your answers will be. But in doubt, if you are unsure, just ask yourself, what will my parents and grandparents hope I would do? What am I willing to do for my sister, my brother, my friends, my neighbor? See, these are the values that make us a community. One what makes us all Americans and which gives us the strength to succeed, allowing us to enjoy the fruits of our labors and the security to seek happiness. These future decisions will be influenced by those experiences that will come in the next steps of your journey. But they will all be rooted in the foundations we call Neshaminy. Again, on behalf of the Board of School Directors, the Neshaminy School District, the entire Neshaminy community, I want to congratulate you all on your accomplishments that we celebrate today. To the graduating Neshaminy senior class of 2021 and all that the future will bring, thank you for allowing me to be part of your celebration. God bless America and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Piratano. Continuing with student leaders who have made a positive change at Neshaminy High School, the next group of student council officers has a long list of accomplishments. With recollection over the years, please welcome student council officers Jacob Swiker, Hamad Fofana, Allison Chichura, Carly Gross, and Jordan Winchester.
I would like to start by thanking all the teachers and parents who were able to make this day possible. We could not have done it without you. Last year, I remember sitting in AP Environmental class on the weeks leading up to the fateful day of Friday, March 13th, and every day, Mr. Maloney would talk about how he thinks the school's going to shut down and how we should start cleaning our desks and our hands, and nobody believed him. We could never imagine that something as small as a virus could shut down the entire school for the remainder of the year. Then, when it all went down, I remember thinking, wow, Mr. Maloney called that one, now I have 2 weeks of vacation. Well, those 2 weeks of vacation turned into an entire year of adapting, overcoming, and facing new challenges that none of us have experienced ever before. And like my dad spending his college fund, my college fund, on his 1971 Trans Am. Yeah, thanks, Dad. I think that these hardships have shown us that life is all about facing challenges and overcoming them with creativity. These new experiences have influenced us to become the dynamic people standing here today.
Growing up, we always wondered what high school would be like, not how it's actually going to go. We thought it would be like Victoria's. It most definitely was not. Personally, I thought it was going to be a walk in the park, but it turned out to be the longest walk with many bumpy roads. As kids, we don't really think about the challenges of high school or how to prepare for them. We come in naive because we think we know everything. I don't think anyone would have predicted losing half of our junior year and doing the beginning of senior year at home. As hard as the past year has been, we're all here graduating together, and that's the greatest thing we could have asked for. August 29th, 2017 was our very first day here as freshmen of Neshaminy High School. As anxious as we were to enter into a new chapter of our lives, we were also clueless of what we were walking into. Seeing many new faces for the first time took a lot of getting used to. But throughout this year, we got to experience many special Neshaminy traditions. We got to be a part of student section at football games. We had our formal, and above all else, participated in gym night. Throughout these new exciting experiences, we formed friendships that will last a lifetime.
Now, with our first year of high school out of the way, we realized that the end would come quicker than expected. We had to cherish every moment as it occurred. To start our sophomore year events, we had our first homecoming dance. Even though we were still little, trying to fit in with all of the tall upperclassmen who already knew their way around everything, we were slowly starting to adapt to the Neshaminy culture. Sophomore year gym night was a special one for everyone involved. Red, who presented us with 3 great shows of Robin Williams, and Blue, who gave us a great representation of Tom Hanks' movies. Ultimately, Red won the dances and gym night overall. Still, the competitiveness of gym night and the sportsmanship between the two sides is unmatched and can never be replicated.
Now, on to our junior year. Everyone has always said that this year would be the most important for college, but it would also be the most memorable, which this year was definitely memorable. To start the year, we had a chance to go to another fun homecoming dance and all the football games in the beginning of the year. For me, and I know a lot of you, we learned a lot about ourselves throughout this year. Maybe figured out what you want to do with your future, how you want to get there, and what's important to you. Later on in the year, gym night rolled around. Like all the other years, it was so amazing. Both Red and Blue put on their production of Past vs. Future, involving virtual reality and the Flintstones. Again, the Red Juniors pulled out another win for our class, but in the end, Blue was victorious. Still, gym night would be one of the best things about Neshaminy. Whether your team wins or loses, just the way it brings everyone together, no matter your group, is just unbeatable. Sadly, gym night was one of our last events of our junior year until we all went virtual. For many of us, this switch was really hard, and it was difficult to stay motivated during these times. I would really like to thank all of our teachers who helped push us through these tough times and helped us to still learn, because I know it was extremely difficult for you all as well. Me, along with my other student council officers in our class, would just like to let you know that the things you do not go unnoticed, and you help save our junior year.
Senior year came faster than expected, and it definitely wasn't what we expected. The past 4 years have been full of nothing but surprises. We started school in a way we never have before, which took a lot of getting used to. Our daily lives went from walking through the halls of Neshaminy to Zooming with our classmates at home. However, we didn't let these hardships define our senior year. We worked hard to make the best of a terrible situation, and we were patient. Our patience was rewarded with a homecoming lacrosse game and a senior prom unlike any other. We chose to overcome adversity and set the tone for our future. I once heard a quote by Roy Bennett: "Your hardest times often lead to the greatest moments of your life. Keep going. Tough situations build strong people. My message to you, my fellow classmates, is to always think deeply, speak gently, love much, laugh often, work hard, give freely, and last but not least, be kind.
It wasn't until the last couple weeks that it sunk in that not only were we seniors, but also that we were graduating. Like many of you, the 5 of us up here felt like perpetual juniors waiting for senior year to begin. It is a strange feeling that only the class of 2021 can fully understand. The experts say that we have faced once-in-a-lifetime hardships and once-in-a-lifetime challenges. No matter what obstacles we have faced throughout our 4 years of high school, nothing has stopped us from venturing out to achieve the impossible and fight on. As the class of 2021, we have always found a way to overcome anything that tries to get in our way. From our first event as a class at freshman orientation to the last gathering here tonight at graduation, we have made memories worth a lifetime. All of your hard work and dedication, inside and outside the classroom, has gotten each of you to this point here today. And to all the parents and loved ones who have pushed their upcoming graduates to be the best version of themselves, I thank you. I thank you for never letting them give up. I thank you for teaching them from a young age what it was like to be a role model, a leader, and an excellent all-around person. Somehow, even through the unpredictable end to our junior year and start to our surreal senior year, we have pushed through and achieved so much more than we sometimes credit ourselves with. For we have shown resilience, adaptability, and hope. Each and every one of you sitting in front of me tonight have made my high school experience one that I will only never forget, but also cherish forever. This is a bittersweet moment for all involved, as it brings the thrill of the new challenges and experiences ahead, along with tears that our high school career has come to an end. But if there is one thing I am sure of here tonight, it is the overwhelming joy that you have all brought to me, as well as the other students sitting beside me. I could not have asked for a better group to spend the past 4 years of high school with. Thank you for everything, Neshaminy, for believing in us throughout our education and preparing us for the next chapters in our lives. I wish the best of luck to every single student here tonight with your future plans. Student Council Class of 2021, out.
Thank you and well done. It gives me great pleasure to have the honor of presenting the class of 2021. I want to thank our student speakers tonight whose words captured the spirit of the class of 2021 perfectly. Your leadership this year was truly inspiring. In a few moments, each of you will hear your name called and you will officially become a Neshaminy graduate. Let me be the first to congratulate you on reaching this milestone in your life. I know you are ready for what comes next because you have received a world-class education in a community that supports and values its children. As this unique and unprecedented school term comes to a close, I need to thank you from my heart for the extraordinary ways you stepped up to meet us more than halfway with the challenges that presented us at every turn. As your principal, I am tremendously grateful for your willingness to follow my lead and in many ways lead me. As I searched for the perfect words to describe a far from perfect year, I kept coming back to one simple thought. Class of 2021, I am so proud of you. Despite facing obstacles at every turn, you continued the legacy of excellence in academics, arts, music, athletics, and all co-curriculars here at Neshaminy High School. But what I am most proud of is the leadership you displayed throughout the year. You understood the challenges faced by the nation, community, and here at Neshaminy High School. You advocated for the return of Neshaminy traditions and made compromises to fit the times. Seeing the joy on your faces during homecoming, prom, and now tonight has been priceless. I depended on you to adapt and pull together with compassion for each other and our staff, and you rose to the occasion. All the good in you was called into action as we navigated this uncharted territory together. And yes, we did prevail. Once again, congratulations to this very special and history-making class. Thank your parents for taking this journey with us. Reach out to a teacher or classmate who made a difference. And going forward, never miss a chance to acknowledge the act of kindness shown to you by others. You were amazing and strong and overcame unprecedented obstacles, so relax, enjoy the goals you've reached, and go forth in a better world with the promise and hope for amazing things to come. And now it is time. Will Neshaminy School Board member, Mrs. Irene Boyle, please come forward to confirm the diplomas upon the class of 2021. Mrs. Boyle, on behalf of the faculty and administration of Neshaminy High School, I am pleased to inform you that those of the class of 2021 seated before you tonight have or will successfully complete the requirements for graduation as established by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Neshaminy School District, and are now ready to receive from you the confirmation of their diplomas.
Will the class of 2021 please rise? Under the authority and powers granted me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and serving in that capacity as a member of the Neshaminy Board of School Directors, I hereby decree that the students of Neshaminy High School, class of 2021, assembled here this evening, are entitled to the official confirmation of their diplomas. As a symbol of this confirmation of diplomas, I now ask the class of 2021 to move their tassels from the right to the left of their caps.
Please be seated. We now come to a very special portion of our ceremony, the time that each graduate is called to the front of the class to receive his or her Neshaminy diploma. In order to fully recognize each individual student, we request that the audience and graduate refrain from excessive celebration until the roll call is completed. After the roll call is complete, we are not done. We have two special speakers to dismiss the class of 2021. Announcing the roll call of graduates will be NHS business teacher, Mrs. Siri Sammartino, and NHS music teacher, Mr. Paul Tosti, both Neshaminy graduates.
Henry Alphonse Casper.
Matthew Brandon Drapkin.
Alex Michael Cruceru.
Maggie Ann Wiley.
Irene Antoinette Royan-Doyen.
Kieran Paul Mayen.
Grace Zara Thompson.
Emily Brittany Collier.
Jamie Patricia Ponicello.
Marie Kelly Nolan.
Kate Belenko.
Jacob Evan Schweiker.
Daniel Bondarenko.
Hamid A. Fofana. Allison Crystal Secura.
Grace Marie Caldwell. Anna E. Amy.
Carly Jane Gross.
Brianna Lee Fallon.
Jordan Kimberly Winchester.
Jessica Nicole Geisheimer.
Demirjan Abozuzavo.
Sophia Hullings.
Brendan John Abrams.
Jenna May Hunsinger.
Ethan Bennett Ackerman.
Brianna Kane.
Rachel Ann Ackerman.
Julia Sarah Kuseedman.
Midhat Adnan.
Elizabeth Colick.
Sarah Nicole Affatado.
Cody Thomas Lewandowski.
Justice Raphael Agosto.
Grace Catherine McKenna.
Irene Sophia Aguilauer.
Shannon Alexis Mohan.
Michael James Albaran.
Juliana Morgan.
Paul Thomas Allen.
Rachel Loretto Myers.
Jared Emilio Alston.
Madison Grace Nyman.
Danya Julissa Alvarado Morales.
Natalie Faith Noble.
Avner David Alvarez.
Tori L. Ritterson.
Brielle Ames.
Carly S. Saxton.
Ajwa Darkwa Mpofo.
Thomas H. Stahersky.
Cheyenne Anderson.
Jillian Erin Trepper.
Cody W. Anderson.
Ray Anthony Yedman.
Gabriella May Anduara.
William Angerer.
Timothy Ansel.
Frank B. Apatov.
Kenneth Charles Armbruster.
Ariana Armstrong.
Nathan James Armstrong.
Divya Asiedu Dankwa.
Alexis Asta.
Angela Babu.
Zachary R. Balint.
Declan J. Banks.
Giselle Marie Banner.
Chloe E. Barber.
Brianna Emily Barkay.
Tyler Stephen Barnes.
Mia Celeste Barone.
Nicholas J. Bates.
Jacqueline Grace Bowerly.
Ryan C. Baina.
Wasim Bazado.
Sophie G. Bazadola.
Barry Bettis.
Dylan Savannah Beagle.
Valerie Ruth Benson.
Nathan Blake Berdamus.
Tekla Beladazi.
Emily Bertles.
Cassandra Betts.
Shebnam Bayan.
Tanvi Basin.
Vincent Anthony Biggins.
Olivia Blacharski.
Christopher Javier Blanco.
Robert M. Blum.
And Fisa Blumina.
Michael D. Bully. Miranda L. Bound.
Jacob Boyle Mazio.
Nicholas D. Bowman. Zachary David Bowman. Aiden P. Bradley.
Isabel Darlene Brady.
Darby Lee Brandt.
Augustin Bravo.
Cole Brenner.
Stephen P. Brock.
Julia Brote.
Jordan Brown.
Amber Rose Brunette.
Matthew Baczynski.
Madeline R. Buzak. Tyler Burst.
Henry Robert Buser.
Karina Bushaw.
Riley Butkovic.
Angela Calpin.
Levi Cannon.
Brianna Marie Carlucci.
Ashley Michelle Carnival.
Stephanie Nicole Carroll.
Jasmine C. Carey.
Thomas Jacob Casalano-Ovo III.
Gianna M. Caserta.
Nicholas Catucci.
Ethan James Catilli. Samantha Christine Cavallo. Haley Chalella.
Devontae Rubson Chatelier.
Sophia Chaudhry.
Erica Lynn Chickaletti.
Nicole E. Childs.
Nicholas Paul Safaldi.
Trevor Michael Clark.
Alexander W. Core.
Ramir M. Cofield.
Jordan Page Cohen.
Gianna R. Coya.
Alejandro Luis Colon.
Mara Elizabeth Connaughton.
Cole R. Corbett.
Bradley Cosgrove.
Ethan Alexander Courtney.
Gianna M. Coyne.
Tatum Lynn Crowley.
Lily A. Cusack.
Michael Cush.
Angelia D. D'Ambrosia.
Gavin Benedetto D'Amico.
Shauna N. Daly.
Ryan Dando.
Jocelyn Daniel.
Tessa L. Danieluk.
Sylvia Svetlana Dankinich.
Christina Dankulich.
Michael Ryan Dorigo.
Kaylin Davies.
Thomas DeMarco.
Jordan Dennis.
Christopher D. DePaula.
Luke W. Devlin.
Michael D. Gregorio.
Alana Ray Dotson.
Shaikh Dogjani.
Michael J. Donato.
Haley Angel Donnell.
Elena Tracy Durgillis.
Kirsten Dott.
Michael Doherty.
Catherine E. Doyle.
Patrick Joseph Drennan.
Veronica Dubkova.
Kayla Bianca Duck.
Jacob Aaron Dudek.
Nora Caroline Duffy.
Matthew Charles Duke.
Abigail P. Dunkley.
Elijah N. Derrier.
Brianna Marie Dernan.
Nicholas S. Dwyer.
Michael Kelly Early.
Madison G. Ebert.
Matthew Edwards.
Gio Edzgeveradze.
Juliana Nicole Egan.
Mustafa H. Akiz.
Felicia Elliott.
Luke M. Finelli.
Megan K. Fabiani.
Luke E. Fatula.
Stephen A. Ferrio.
Summer Marie Fecca.
Cole Anthony Faturi.
Dylan Fetzko.
Daniel Fay.
Jennifer Fleming.
Nicholas John Farrell.
Elizabeth Margaret Florendo.
Dominic M. Fiorentino.
Kristen Francis Florendo.
Morgan J. Fleming.
Colin Xavier Evans.
Zachary Joseph Floyd.
Taj Kareem Fortson.
Lauren N. Foster.
Matthew Christopher Fox.
Gianna N. Fregoso.
Armani Fuentes.
Daniel Patrick Fuss. Aaliyah M. Gaines. Amir Gaitov.
Sean P. Gale.
Samantha Gallagher.
Thomas Gallagher.
Amber Gabrielle Garcia.
Theodore Robert Garlick.
Sarah Jane Garofalo.
Joshua Michael Giese.
Brian J. Gertie.
Evan N. Gertie.
Hannah R. Gerlach.
Mason Edward Getz.
Anaya Gibson.
Joshua Michael Gibson.
James N. Giordano.
Dalton J. Germscheid.
Christian Gegga.
Simon Godofsky.
Heaven Gehrig.
Alexis Sophia Gomez. Grace E. Gonglick. Dina Gordon.
Tatum Ryan Gowan.
Nathan Patrick Grazer.
Kirsten M. Gravor. Amira Marie Green. Caitlin Ashley Gray.
Eric S. Gross.
Brian A. Grubb.
Anthony M. Gubitsa.
Adrian Gabriel Guerrero.
Corinne C. Gulick.
Savannah Hafley.
Patrick T. Handley.
Joseph Harkins.
Dana Harris.
Jacob R. Harris.
Lauren Marie Harrison.
Jonathan Harris.
Sarah Rose Harrison.
Ryan J. Harvey.
Allison Claire Hathaway.
Madison Heinz. Braden L. Hemberger. Sarah Margaret Hetzel.
Jillian Hickman.
Joseph J. Honish.
Kelsey Cameron Hodges.
Emily Grace Hughes.
Nathan A. Hoffman.
Juliana Hughes.
Isabella Anna Hughes.
John Anthony Hutchinson.
Scott Thomas Hutchin.
Alexander James Ierardi.
Sean P. Ibbotson.
Jordan T. Israeli.
Shaneri Nama Ifani.
Cole William Jackson.
Kayla Marie Jacob. Christopher Lee Jakubowski.
Salimadu Jallo.
Christopher John James.
Anna Jongelia.
Jason Jang.
Andel Princess Johnson.
Hunter Caleb Johnson.
Gracie J. Johnston.
Jake Ryan Jones.
Keegan William Jones.
Kylie McKenna Jones.
Kevin Sagio Ho.
Savannah J. Jones.
Miles Ellis Jones. Caleb Samuel Jordan.
Josh Job Joseph.
Laurel Jung.
Dominic Michael Colobius.
Taylor Page Camp.
Sarah Capel.
Nicholas Ryan Cass.
Taylor K. Kaufman.
Hope M. Keene.
Evan Kelly.
Matthew Robert Kephart.
Morgan Marie Kerr.
Sandro Kikava.
Ryan Kevlak.
Farhat Killick.
James G. Kilcoyne.
Gabrielle Ray Kinsel.
Gianna E. Kinderman.
Julia Marie Klein.
Nicole Kladke.
Marco Kostiuk.
Allison Shea Kohler.
Jesse James Kovachetz Jr.
Sophia Kuan.
Tabitha Kerr.
Daniel Kovitz.
Sean A. Kreft.
Trevor Owen Kuhn.
Ivana Kudich.
Seren Nur Kurt.
Mohammed Karoon.
Paulina Kushnir.
Madison Kaczynski.
Andrew Trent Lamb.
Rachel Elizabeth Lamb.
Colin Edward Lamb.
Amanda Nicole Lapierre.
Kira Lamban.
Gina Elizabeth Lapierre.
Michael Lascala.
Mary O. Lowerson.
Chad Christian Lawrence.
Caitlin C. Lawler.
Anna Lawson.
Jared Ian E. Lay.
Mark Paul Lequier.
Brian Lee.
Eric Matthew Lee.
Joshua A. Leedy.
Joseph James Leadham.
Kylie Maureen Layton.
Jacob Daniel Levin.
Aiden Daniel Lewis.
Anna M. Lewis.
Daniel Moses Lewis.
Alexander J. Laserzon.
Tracy Lynn.
Savannah Ann Lyle.
James D. Lister.
Kyle D. Lindley. Sarah C. Lindley. Rafe Samuel Listokin.
Kylie B. Lopasinski. Kayla Rose Lopez. Caleb Sean Lowery.
Frank J. Luciani.
Kiara Aaliyah Lugo.
Emily Alexis Leibashev.
Justin Likhanov. Jack P. Lynch.
Haley M. McCauley.
Mark Robert McBride.
James E. McDonald.
Anthony Francis Mack.
Michael T. Modalo.
Alexandra L. Magdalinskas.
Lauren McGee.
Kyle Peter Mayer.
Karina A. Maldonado.
Brooklyn Malloy.
Bella Victoria Maines.
Rachel F. Manning.
Christian Lee Marable.
Sean P. Marion.
Seamus P. Marsden.
Evan Saul Martyr. Daniel David Martin. Zachary Martin.
Haley Ryan Martindale.
Brandon Martini.
Joshua A. Martaccio.
Angelina Nicole Mason.
Alyssa M. Mather.
Anya M. McCool.
Hannah Lee McCormick.
Dylan Scott McGarrigle.
Jake R. McGinty.
Riley McGinty.
Nathaniel Patrick McGlone.
Charles McGonigal.
Stephen M. McLaughlin.
Caitlin Rain McMahon.
Mitchell P. McMahon.
Lauren McManus.
Mackenzie M. McPhail.
Connor Scott McQuibbin.
Owen McShane.
Isha Mayamud.
Jordan Melendez.
Caitlin E. Metcalf.
Luca Metravelli.
Natalie J. Meyer.
Anthony Migliore.
Kyle Miles.
Ava Miller.
David John Miller.
Nicholas Miller.
Joseph M. Millery.
Isaac Abraham Moltu.
Danielle Christine Monaco. Kenneth J. Monaco. Zachary James Morganti.
Jania Giselle Mosquera.
Liam P. Moss.
Mohammed Motlieb.
Mary S. Modavidlak.
Blama Moen.
Thomas G. Mullen.
Ryan M. Mulvena.
Michael Mary.
Masa Mazen Murray.
Zachary Music.
Max Lev Myasoyadev.
Ryan Thomas Mychak. Joseph L. Nalbone III.
Rustam Narboyev.
Catherine Quinya Nguyen.
Jason Dat Win.
Jasmine Annalise Nicholas.
Georgie Nikabadze.
Daraj Rao Nemala.
Daniel Nugiera.
Sophia Alexandra Novak.
Peter Nowak.
Hayden M. O'Donnell.
Morgan Taylor O'Donnell.
Caitlin R. O'Flynn.
Jacob J. Oberholzer.
Mary Rose Okwara.
Emily R. Oliver.
Lillian Veronica Osborne.
Sarah M. Ozdemir.
Chase H. Padilla.
Samantha Parry.
Nikki M. Patel.
Tulsi J. Patel.
Shreya Patel.
Ryan M. Pelletier.
Mia L. Pihota. Louis Daniel Perez, Jr.
Jacob Patola.
Brianna Pezzola. Jamal Pierre.
Aurelie Pierre.
Madeline R. Pietrowski.
Annalise Petre.
Noel E. Pizzaro.
Donald David Planky IV.
Jessica N. Plunkett.
Nicholas C. Poplowski.
Madeline J. Porter.
Kieran C. Pote.
Tristan J. Powell.
Joy Christine Prash.
Jake R. Preston.
Thomas J. Pruno.
Nicole Ann Pertel.
Jalen Quarles.
Skylar Quay.
Brockton Gary Radovich. Bryson Morris Radovich.
Carter J. Ramos.
Isabella S. Ramos.
Douglas Rangnow.
Samir Nirav Ravel.
Jacqueline P. Regensberger.
Autumn Rain Reinhardt.
Alphonse John Romoldi.
Lydia Repchuk.
Haley Elizabeth Resch.
Skylar Grace Richmond.
Parker Owen Riddle.
Emily Marie Riley.
Carlos Daniel Rivera.
Jose Julian Rivera.
Jackson Pierce Roba.
Megan G. Roberts.
Anthony Rowland.
Vincent W. Rosa.
James Joseph Rosario.
Ethan W. Roscoe.
Julia C. Rosenwald.
Devin May Roscos.
Dylan A. Roth.
Alexis Rowski Peterson.
Aaliyah Rutterow Henry.
Gavin M. Rowan.
Jagger Xavier Ryan.
Trevor Andrew Rush.
Seamus Luke Sadowski.
Benjamin Joseph Sachs. Tito Sahokia.
Lou Salmi.
Andrew J. Sana.
Jacob Paul Cirillo.
Robert Sassaman.
Valentina Savuliak.
Kira C. Sawyer.
Matthew Michael Saylor.
Kayla Marie Shembri.
Joshua D. Scatino.
Aiden James Schlupp.
Ryan William Schoeneman.
Rebecca Grace Schrack.
Regina M. Schroeder.
Hallie Jade Schultz. David C. Scott. Jared A. Seals.
Robert Charles Seawagon III.
Christian Cervellin.
Melissa D. Seymour.
Megan Michelle Shandley.
Gavin Tyler Shapcott.
Avery May Shearer.
Emma E. Sheehan.
Patrick T. Sherry.
Catherine M. Shields.
Samuel Patrick Shine.
Deanna Shugar.
Omar Hisham Shakur.
Casey Nicole Cienko.
Samantha A. Sickles.
Sean Simonet.
Nicole Olga Simonian.
Sean Singleton.
Ian P. Sawinski.
Kylie M. Sywick.
Julia Skrenkovich.
Evelina Sketchkova.
Hayden C. Saravo.
Laura Nicole Smeagol.
Colin Patrick Smith.
Jenna Marie Smolnik.
Kelly Ann Snodgrass.
Edward James Snyder.
Diana L. Soroka.
Emily Sylvia Solomon.
Nicholas Robert Soska.
Skylar Spain.
Jason Robert Spencer.
Olivia M. Spencer.
Mackenzie Grace St. Pierre.
Madison Rose Stanton.
Rebecca Lynn St. Pierre. Shane R. Stasic.
Sean Thomas Stern.
Ryan Joseph Stevens.
Nicholas Anthony Stores.
Zachary Strock.
Sebastian Kramer Susavic.
Aiden J. Sunderland.
Jonathan Swiderski.
Anthony Tamanini.
Isaiah Taylor.
Edwin Roy Thomas.
Jessica Ola Thomas.
Jonathan Martin Tompkins.
Arabella Lynn Thompson.
Natalia Alexandra Kachenko.
Aiden Tukarski.
Sienna Tamasulo.
Julia A. Topolewski.
Lino Antonio Torres.
Anthony Cole Toscani.
Mason Edward Toto.
Zena Trabolsi.
Caleb Michael Treelor.
Victoria Trotsuk.
Sydney C. Tryon.
Michael A. Zivlaris.
Emil Umarbayev.
Dominic M. Vaca.
Kathleen Grace Veda.
Evan N. Velada.
Ryan J. Vincent.
Daria Volchek. Benjamin Drake Wagner.
Megan B. Waller.
Rachel Aaron Walsh.
Tyler Austin War.
Caitlin Sophia Watson.
Emmanuel Wegba Jr.
Riley Wegner.
Darian J. Weiss.
Amber L. West.
Madison L. Westbrook.
Emily R. Wetmore.
Rachel Whitty.
Alyssa J. Williams.
Titus Williams.
Charles Bud Wilson.
Julia Wilson.
Alexa G. Winchester. Chloe A. Winchester.
Tyler Wolke.
Brian Mazzaro Wright.
Sky Yady.
Miranda Lynn Yeager. Samantha Joe Yeager.
Kyla Young.
Satoria Air Zagorski.
Alexa Marie Zeke.
Chase P. Zamitis. Samuel Andrew Zerker.
Eli Zimmerman. Ryan Michael Zimmerman. Madeline Teresa Zizzo. Kayla Zalo.
It is now my pleasure to relinquish the podium to two individuals that the class of 2021 knows better than I. First, Mr. Tom Magdalinskis and Senior Class President, Mr. Matthew Drapkin.
Thank you, Mr. Staub, and I want to be the next person to congratulate the class of 2021. You have made your mark here at Neshaminy, and now you will have your opportunity to make your mark on the world. Before I introduce our final speaker, I would like to send out one more congratulations and thank you. Shortly, my good friend, Mrs. Donna Bermilo McGran, will be conducting her final recessional here at Neshaminy. She will be retiring after 36 years of service to our outstanding district and our great, great community. We wish you health and happiness moving forward. And now, our final speaker for the evening, your class president, Mr. Matthew Drapkin. Matt, apparently we have another speaker.
We got it. Thank you, Matt.
Our very own Ms. Knotts, your senior principal, has a few remarks to make before we turn it over.
They thought they were going to get out of here without me speaking? Nah. Good evening, friends, family, and graduates. We appreciate everyone sharing this moment with us. It has been a strange year, but we made it through. So let's all pause and think about what you have accomplished. Not only did you make it to graduation, but you did it in the toughest times. There was a pandemic, and yet you managed to get the work done. You learned online learning and Canvas in the blink of an eye, but you got it done. There is nothing you can't do. So class of 2021, let's go out there and make a difference. Always do your best. And now, your class president, Mr. Matt Drapkin.
Thank you, Mr. Maggs, and thank you, Mrs. Knotts. Good evening, class of 2021. 4 years ago, we all opened up the pages to a new chapter of our lives when we walked into Neshaminy High School. Each one of us was given an empty canvas. From then until now, we all became artists, sketching our stories in skins red and blue. It still feels so surreal to think that that day that once seemed so far away is finally here. Really take a second to soak it all in. This is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of moment. We earned it. Getting to where we are today was no easy feat. In a normal year, there is already enough pressure being mounted on the senior class. As 17 and 18-year-olds, we are faced with the task of deciding what we would like to do for the rest of our lives. How? How are we expected to know what we would like to do for the next 50 years of our lives when I couldn't even decide on which pair of shoes to wear tonight? I'm indecisive, I'm inexperienced, and yet I am expected to have things all figured out. However, I know that I am not alone. Not one of us that will be graduating tonight has it all figured out. And not one of us that handed out the diplomas tonight has it all figured out. Sorry, Doc. The truth is that nobody has it all figured out. In 2005, the late Steve Jobs said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future." My advice to you, fellow graduates, is to stop worrying about connecting the dots. You must trust that the dots will somehow connect in your favor. Take risks, trust your gut, and chase your passions. Forget the notion that we must have everything figured out. If this strange year has taught me anything, it is that nobody can predict the future. With that, I invite you, class of 2021, to recognize the outstanding accomplishment that we have all made. This past year has brought on challenges that we would have never dreamt of, even in our wildest nightmares. And still, we came out on top. Just as the leaves of autumn must fall before the flowers of spring may bloom, the obstacles we had faced, extracurricular cancellations, social distancing, remote learning, all worked to propel us into the next stage of our lives. We rose up, but we must continue to rise up. In a volatile world that right now is filled with fear and insecurity, we are the next generation responsible for turning the tide. We proved capable in high school. It is now time for us to prove it in the real world that lies beyond. And now, as our time as Neshaminy students comes to an end, do not let your spirits wane. We are all still the artists. This is not the end of our journey. This is simply the end of one page. We now flip to the next, as we all strive to compose the portfolios that we call life. Fellow graduates, please rise and remove your caps. Class of 2021, you are dismissed!